Continuing the discussion on Amazon S3 and as a storage solution, what storage classes are being offered for S3 would be we would be discussing on that. So, as you can see, Amazon S3 offers a range of storage classes that are tailored for different use cases. So we have general purpose storage if we have data that needs to be accessed frequently. So we have standard storage class, and any file or any object that you upload in Amazon S3 would be allocated standard storage class by default. But yes, we can definitely change it as per our own need, and we'll come to that section later on. So other storage classes we have is S3 standard infrequent access, then S3 one zone infrequent access. So these classes, S3 standard infrequent access, they are used for less frequently accessed data, where the need to access data is not that often, but we will require data at a lesser frequency. So then we have Amazon Glacier, which is basically the archival solution, where we can archive our objects, our files, and where there is a need to keep them stored for long period of times without any need to access them. So we have these, and then we have a reduced redundancy storage class that is used for non-critical storage, non-critical objects that can be reproduced. So we'll definitely come to that also. And then also we have a term called lifecycle policies, which can be configured to manage the data throughout its life cycle. Like we can set some policy where our objects or files can be allocated a different storage class, which can be an archival storage class like Amazon Glacier or other cheap options. So definitely we have some cost associated with each storage class. Some storage classes are costly and some are cheaper. So on my screen you can see certain attributes, certain features that are associated with each storage class. So starting with durability. So durability, availability, then what are the availability zones? So I'll start with durability. So we see here, for all the classes except reduced redundancy storage, we have a durability of 11 nines. And what exactly durability means, by definition, I'll explain later in this video. And then we have availability of 99.99% in the standard, and then standard infrequent access, it is lesser, 90 and 99.5 in one zone, right? And then of course Glacier, when we are talking about Glacier, Glacier is an archival solution where if we want to retrieve a data, some objects, some files, it can take from minutes to hours. Then for reduced redundancy storage, again, we have availability of 99.99%, right? And then there are availability zones associated, for with each storage class. So we will definitely come to that also. And, if you see the cost, most costly is S3 standard. And then we have lesser, the cheaper options, less cost. And another key point that we need to know here is because S3 one zone infrequent access storage class store data in a single availability zone, right? So there is a chance of data getting lost in the event of easy destruction, right? Because we are not replicating in multiple availability zones, right? So that is one thing that we need to note here, because contrary to other storage classes where we have replication across multiple availability zones, so to promote redundancy, to promote the availability and durability of your storage files, we are replicating the data among multiple AZs, right? So by definition, object availability is the percentage over 1 year of time that a file will be accessible. So if I have 99.99% as availability, then every 10,000 hours, the file may not be accessible for, let's say, 1 hour. So that is, so in another way, I am saying your file will be accessible whenever you are trying to access it from wherever you want to try, access it. And then object durability is percentage over 1 year time period that file may lost, may get lost, right? So let's say if we have 10,000 files stored, so there is a chance of one file getting lost in 10 million years. That is next to impossible. So there would not be any scenario where the files that we stored got lost. So these are a technical terms that are used to describe the storage classes. So coming on to, I just wanted to, in the last discussion we saw like how we can upload the content, how we can upload the objects under buckets, subfolders, right? And if I uploaded this file, right, and by default my storage class was coming as standard. But let's say if I am uploading another file, let's say I'm uploading this, I will have the chance where I can, I'll skip this permissions part, where I can set my storage class while uploading the file only, right? There are the options that you can see over here. Infrequent access, one zone infrequent access, right? And you can see the availability zone replication also, right? And reduced redundancy storage, right? So we can definitely change the storage class, while uploading the object. Or another way is we can change the storage class of a file that is already uploaded by going to this option. So again, I can see, right? I can see all those options. So I can make selection and I can change it, right? So let's say if I want this, I will, when you change, the last modified date is updated, right? So whenever you're making a change to storage class, the last modified date will get updated. See, it is getting changed and the storage class is already changed now. And after this, I just wanted to discuss some pricing option also. That varies by region also. As you can see, right, there is a drop down of different regions and by the storage class itself. So two parameters are there. So let's say if I'm selecting Asia Pacific Mumbai to US East North Virginia, I'll see a change, right? If S3 standard storage is costing me per GB $0.023 in US East, then Asia Pacific Mumbai would have different 0 to 5, right? So the cost pricing definitely change, and you can see the most expensive one is S3 standard storage, and then the lesser expensive options are, as you can see, infrequent access, right? One zone is again lesser because we are ultimately reducing the replication part, isn't it? And that ultimately entails, okay, the data may get lost in case of easy failure, isn't it? Then we have Amazon Glacier storage, which is the cheapest option, and it is used for data archival, and this would be the part of our next upcoming discussion. Thank you guys.